Although officially deposed, Puyi is still addressed as Emperor. The articles of favorable treatment allow him to remain in the Forbidden City, but don't specify for how long. In his pseudo-court at the palace, Puyi remains revered and is served by a small army of eunuchs and palace maids. His words are heavenly commands, and his residence the forbidden chambers. Even the palace walls and the tiles on top of the roofs are strictly regulated. The system prevents normal relationships, so young Puyi is one of the loneliest boys in the world. It'll be years before even his brother will be allowed to join him. His only company, apart from the imperial family's women, is a veritable army of court eunuchs. These men are integral to China's feudal practices. Often born of poor families, they castrate themselves for a chance to enter into imperial service. The chief eunuch in charge of Puyi's daily life tells him stories that will exert an unconscious but far-reaching influence on him. He tells Puyi of a snow-capped mountain. Long ago, beautiful angels go there to bathe. One of them eats a red fruit picked by a magic bird and soon gives birth to a baby boy. The boy is Puyi's ancestor. The magic bird tells him that he is a son of the gods, and the Aisin Juru family will be masters of the land. Puyi is also shown a dragon engraved in the imperial throne. In its mouth is clasped a glass stone. If the emperor on the throne is not appointed by the heavens, the dragon will spit out the stone and kill the false emperor. Through these fairy tales, the concept of divine appointment begins to take shape and crystallize in the young emperor's mind. But all this is about to be challenged. Winter 1915. And cheers of "Long live the King" are heard just outside the Forbidden City. From a high vantage, Puyi sees that the three main halls of the palace are undergoing a facelift. To his horror, he discovers that President Yuan Shikai is offering sacrifices and declaring himself emperor. This is too much for supporters of the Republic. A number of provinces rebel and take up arms against Yuan. Instead of becoming emperor as planned, Yuan is forced to give up his monarchist ambitions and a few months later dies of physical and mental breakdown. Yuan's bizarre behavior is symptomatic of the turbulent times following the fall of the Qing dynasty. In the south, there is the Republic of China government. In the north, squabbling warlords. Ironically, these conflicts have little effect on the young emperor in the Forbidden City. In fact, the warlords are so busy fighting one another that most of them pay Puyi little attention. Across the planet, World War I is raging in Europe. By 1917, the Republic of China's president and premier are quarreling over China's allegiance in the cataclysmic conflict. On the pretext of mediating, a Qing general leads a 5,000-strong army and occupies Beijing. Once in control, he restores Puyi to his throne. 6 years after his abdication, the news causes a huge outcry across China. A hastily assembled coalition of government and warlord forces quickly defeat the Qing general's heavily outnumbered troops. In the end, 11-year-old Puyi is emperor again for only 12 days, before being forced to step down a second time. He survives the saga with nothing more than a fright, after which he keeps a low profile in his sanctuary at the Forbidden City. And finally, he's getting someone to play with. It's his younger brother, Puyi. Now 10 years old, Puyi is summoned to the palace to meet the emperor. He expects to meet an old man with a white beard wearing a crown. He's amazed to discover that the emperor is just a boy like himself, and that he's his own brother. And there's another change in the offing. In 1919, a contract is signed with the British Embassy to provide a tutor for Puyi. Scotsman Reginald Johnston, later portrayed by actor Peter O'Toole in a feature film, has a master's degree from Oxford University in England. He speaks fluent Chinese and is a scholar of China's history and poetry. Over the next few years, he'll completely change Puyi's view of the world. Puyi's Chinese teachers have stressed philosophies of divine appointment and personal supremacy. But Johnston is not bound by Chinese traditions and introduces the boy emperor to Western technology and thinking. Puyi starts to realize there's an amazing world beyond the Forbidden City, one that he'd like to experience for himself. The court now decides it is high time Puyi got married. According to Qing custom, an emperor can have one wife and countless concubines. Suitable girls are groomed from a very young age. Puyi selects 2 of them: Guangdong, born of a prominent and rich family, and Guangxi, who is from a fallen noble house.